Hello, hello. Welcome to Candid Conversation with Coach Stacy, where we have real people, real topics, and real stories right here on 108 Praise Radio, where we voice the gospel. Candid Conversation. I'm so excited! I'm so excited. I am Coach Stacy, certified life coach, speaker, and author, and I empower women and a few select men to dominate in their purpose. And my testimony of overcoming domestic violence, cervical cancer, and many, many traumatic experiences makes me passionate about helping people struggling with wanting to throw in the towel. And not only have I broken free, but I have helped countless other people walk boldly and authentically in their purpose over the last 10 years as a life coach. And right here on Candid Conversation, we have amazing guests who come on and share impactful stories, books, testimonies, whatever they got going on.
Everything.
Corporate people, NBA stars. We have everybody on here.
Yes.
And they share their testimonies. And I believe it's important to share your story. I believe the experiences we are given are gifts to share with other people.
Absolutely.
You never know who's listening and watching and who needs to hear your story of overcome
Absolutely.
to help
Yes.
them along the way. And
Yes.
today, Saturday, we have an amazing guest who is going to share a piece of her
thank
journey
you.
with us.
Yes.
And today we're going to talk about who she is and what she does and how she is impacting lives all over the world, literally all over the world. This woman just came back from, I can't even say the name of the place. I don't even, every time I turn around, she's gone. Alaska.
We were in Alaska.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I had it right. Well, I can say Alaska.
R&R, babe. Got to do it. Got to take care of yourself.
So when I say she's impacting all over the world, she is. As a matter of fact, when I first met her, I was going to ask her to speak for me. And she was like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm going to be in Africa. And I was like, did I just ask the right person? I ain't never asked nobody who get to speak in Africa to speak for me. So, that just let me know I was in the right place because she is
Yes.
impacting lives all over the world. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Miss Felicia
All
Phillips.
right. Thank you so much, Stacy, for having me on today.
Yes,
I'm so honored to be on your platform of Candid Conversations. Thank you for getting me ready for this conversation. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Yes.
And thank you for coming. I'm so excited, y'all know I tell y'all all about different women who have impacted my life. And Felicia is one of those women who has been just an inspiration. I can't even find the words because sometimes I get teared up when these certain women that, have impacted, I get teared up because it means so much to me. And I just want to tell you thank you.
That's an honor. Thank you so much.
I know tomorrow's Father's Day and I want to talk about Father's Day, but before that, I want to do something else. And I know those that know Felicia that are watching or listening, they know. But I want to say congratulations, Dr. Felicia Phillips.
Dr. Phillips, yes.
The Conversation Show wants to present you with a short token of congratulations.
That is so nice. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So I present the Pink Mogul.
Oh, that is
With
so
congratulations.
nice. You are really trying to get a tear out of me this morning.
Just a
I
little.
see. Oh, my goodness. So we're going to put that, we'll put it right here. How about that?
Yeah.
So everybody can see it.
I
Let me
can
turn
see
it around.
So
That
now
is
when y'all see her
beautiful.
out and about in Atlanta,
oh my goodness.
say hello, Dr.
How
Phillips.
beautiful. Yes.
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 I just want to say
I'm
congratulations.
still Felicia.
I know. And that's what I love about you.
Yeah.
That's what I love about
Yes.
you. Yes. So what I'm going to do real quick is fathers. We got to acknowledge fathers. I
Have to.
Happy Father's Day to all of you. I do got some men who'll be tuning in, so I want to make sure I let y'all know Happy Father's Day on
Yes.
tomorrow.
That's
I have
right.
a short poem that I wanted to share with you guys. And it says, it's called A Father Means. The author's unknown, of course, but I thought it was so fitting. Father means so many things, an understanding heart, a source of strength and of support right from the very start. A constant readiness to help in a kind and thoughtful way, with encouragement and forgiveness, no matter what comes your way. A special generosity and always affection. A father means so many things when he's a man like you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I just thought it was really cute and nice. And I want to say Happy Father's Day. My father is deceased, both my fathers. I had a bonus daddy and a daddy. And
Oh,
they're both deceased. So happy Father's Day in heaven to both of you.
yes.
And you have somebody you want to say?
I want to say happy Father's Day to my daddy, who I love so much and is just a pillar of strength. And Daddy, just know that we love you, we respect you, and we honor you, not just on Father's Day, but every day. And for every other father that I know that I love, for my husband who has been a bonus dad to my kids, to our kids, we love you, and we thank you for everything that you do for our family.
We love y'all.
Yeah, Mr. Phillips.
Yes, Mr. Phillips. We love you guys. So happy Father's Day. I really do hope and pray that your Father's Day is filled with much love. Much love on tomorrow. So that's Happy Father's Day from the Candid Conversation Show.
Yes, that's right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna y'all know I hate reading bios. I say it every single week, and I still had to come up with a way to deliver a bio without it.
You know what? You can shorten.
No. It's short. It's great. I just, I get so excited and trying to read and talk at the same time. I
that's
all
right,
over
girl. You got this.
I got it.
You got this.
So that's why I'm like, I gotta read enough. But your accolades and things, people need to know who you are. I just think you're such an amazing person.
Thank you.
And people need to know who you are. So we're gonna take a few minutes. We're gonna get this bio out the way. Y'all, Miss Felicia, I just had to. I had to have her on the show this morning because she is just one amazing lady. If you have a business, she is the business strategist for you. If you have a corporate company, she's the business strategist for that too. Lo and behold.
I do that too.
Yes, she does. But she is a master business strategist, and she is the founder of the Pinkpreneur Network. Woo! All those pinkpreneurs out there watching, I know, I see y'all. Daily, she inspires more than 20,000 followers across all of her social media platforms to not just live boldly, but to be impactful. And we've used that word quite a bit, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Be impactful, and she does that. A successful business owner for more than 25 years. She is focused on using her expertise to assist high-level executives and entrepreneurs with manifesting their visions and becoming influences in their industry. She is a member of the Forbes Coaches Council and has been featured in the Huffington Post, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Rolling Out Magazine, CBS Better Mornings, BET, TLC, Centric TV. When I tell y'all many more. Hard working. Yes. That she does. Hard working. I'm surprised she ain't got the little phone punching the button right now.
I'm being good this morning. I'm being good.
She is being good. She has had the pleasure of working with Georgia State University's Andrew Young School of Policy, the University of Phoenix, the Urban League of Greater Atlanta's Entrepreneur Center, City of Atlanta, the Environmental Protection Agency, Delta Airlines, IKEA, and of course, many other organizations. And she is the recipient of the Phoenix Award. Yes. I can see being receiving that because I've heard some stories. You are amazing. And from the former City of Atlanta Mayor, Kasim Reed, the 2015 Connector Award, and the 2016 Influence Her Award. Felicia has also been recognized in Who's Who in Black Atlanta. As a wife, mother, and influencer, Felicia understands the difficult balance women face and is committed to helping them birth their visions while being unstoppable. Ma'am. And I'm here to attest all of that and some. She's, like I said, quite an amazing. You guys know I like to celebrate people anyway. That's leave off. They thing. Just be like,
I see you too, sister. I see you too.
Oh, thank you, Felicia.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. But that is why she has been a really important person in my life, and I myself am so grateful for her, and really I appreciate who she is and what she stands for. So we give you that warm welcome to the Candid Conversation show this morning.
Excited. Yes.
And I'm so grateful that you're here to have this conversation with me.
Yes.
We have these really quick conversations when we see each other. You know, you get around people and you feel like you've known them forever. She's one of those people I feel like I've known her. And we probably hadn't spent longer than 3 hours together at one particular time.
That's right.
But it's just so impactful and so just... so you've been one of my favorite people for the past few years.
Oh, honey, I love you for saying
that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so sensitive. I can't help it.
All right.
All right, so we're going to get into talking about Felicia's journey today.
Yes.
One of the things I noticed when I first met her, she talked about how she used to be a real estate investor and into real estate really big and heavy. And what I guess really threw me is that how she started out. She told a story about starting out. She went through a divorce that kind of impacted her life, and she had nothing. And and she built it up like in a matter of months. She didn't waste no time. She got to work. She got the phone out. She got to work, and before you know it, she was at six figures, and that was just really impactful to me because from where I come from, it's not easy to do that, and to
especially with 2 kids in tow, right?
2 kids in tow, and to see someone that looks like me able to do that's a big inspiration. You want to share with us a little bit about that journey?
I'm gonna go back a little bit before that because the foundation was laid for me, and even just knowing in honor of Father's Day, I have to say that because I was raised with entrepreneurs.
Right.
My dad was an entrepreneur, and I always saw him go out and just make it happen, right? I would see him come home dog tired, but didn't matter how tired he was, he would get right back up the next day, right? I've seen him leave the house with no money and come back with all the money, right?
All of it.
And I was just amazed, and I knew he had peaks and valleys just like we all do in our businesses, but he never made an excuse, right? Because there was always a way. Right? And what we do is sometimes, especially nowadays, what I see, we get caught up because we begin to compare ourselves to other people. Oh, well, this person is doing this, so maybe I'm not doing something right. But God has given us all a particular vision for our lives, right?
That's right.
For me, before my divorce, I was blessed to build a very successful real estate company. When you have the knowledge of doing something, no matter what travesty may happen in your life, that knowledge does not go away.
That's right. That's right.
But we tend to discount ourselves because of the things that happen to us, okay? What never changes is your destiny. Whatever your destiny is, guess what? At some point, if you make the right choices, if you choose not to give up, if you fight the fight, because it is a fight every day, right? No 2 days in our lives are alike. So every day we have to will ourselves towards our destiny. Because what do I always say that? Whatever you're seeking is seeking you, right? A great person said that. That's right. I've never forgotten it. And even though I might have been at my lowest point, I knew that was only temporary because I know who I am.
That's good.
Right?
That's good. That was a nugget. Y'all write that down.
I know who I am.
Yes.
Right? Success is a mindset. Right? You have to have a mindset to win. You have to want it. You have to crave it. You have to know that where I am today in this valley is not my forever. Because one, that is not a promise of God. Right? And this is 108 praise, right?
That's right.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
You're in the right place.
Okay. I know that God didn't say I'm supposed to stay in this valley, and I'm surely not supposed to stay in this valley with 2 children. Okay? So every day I got up and said, today is the day. Before I went to bed, before I closed my eyes, before I laid my head on that pillow, I said, what did I do today to move myself closer towards my destiny, towards the wealth that God has accumulated for me? For me.
That's good.
Right? So if it's a storehouse and there's wealth and all the promises of God in that storehouse, how do I get the key to that? Well, how I get the key is that I've got to work in the natural. I have to work in the natural. That means I got to show up every day. No matter what is going on in the background.
That's right.
Craziness in the background.
That's right.
I got to leave it in the background. Because when I show up for my customer, when I show up for my client, none of that matters.
That's right.
What they want is what they want.
That's right.
Not what I want, what they want. And I'm here to serve them. And you've got to be clear about who you are. I understand that I'm a vessel. I'm a vessel, one, now to help people get to their destiny.
That's right.
Then I was a vessel for my children.
That's right.
And they deserve better. And so that was my why at that time, because your why changes.
Yes, it does.
It changes. Success changes, right, as you move through life. And so because I was clear about my why, I was clear about where I was going, and I was determined because I had made a promise to them, just like God made a promise to me, I made a promise to them. That, yeah, we came out of a situation, and it does not feel good or look good. You know, I shared that when I lost everything, and I had my car, I had to sell it, right? And we went from this, luxury vehicle, and I sold it, and we had this really like just getting you from point A to point B. I'm talking about you had bucket. To roll the windows down, the real bucket.
We call it bucket.
And my daughter, bless her heart, she was about 7, and she looked at me and she said, "Are we poor?" And there's a little laughter about it now, but that cut me to my core. Because that's not who I was. And that's not what I wanted to represent to my children. That's not what God wants to represent to us.
That's right.
So I had to pick myself up. And when I looked her in the eye, I told her, this is not our forever. I promise you that.
Oh, I can see you.
And 18 months later, guess what? We weren't just at 6 figures. We were at 7 figures.
Yeah, I remember.
Our life changed because I was committed to the promise. Right. Just like God is committed to the promise that he has given us.
That's good.
So what promise are you committed to?
That's right. She's asking y'all that right now.
What promise? What are you committed to? Because it's easy to just say, I give up. I can't do this anymore. I could have said that. At that time, I could have said, you know what? I'm just going to go and get a job. And there's nothing wrong with that because we all have different desires of our heart. That's right. Different things that we want to do. For me.
That's right.
For me. For me and mine, that's what I chose to do. I made a choice. The biggest thing that people miss is that they are afraid to make a decision.
Yes.
You have to make a choice about what you're going to do in order to achieve the success that you want.
She preaching up in here, y'all. She preaching, but you're right. You are so right. You're so right. I thank you for sharing that with us. I thank you. And her story, boy, I'm like, if she can do it,
that's right.
I can do it. Every time I hear that, I do.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I didn't come from where it was possible. I was supposed to go at school if I could and get a job. As long as I had a job, it didn't matter if I went to school or not. You got to go to job. You got to go get the job. You got to make sure the kids got food on the table. And I remember one time having 4 jobs. People thought they was like, "Are you Haitian? I just saw you at the place down the way." So to see someone say, "You know what? You got to just change this up here just a little bit."
Success is a mindset.
Yes, change this. And you
Absolutely.
can do it. I'm here. I'm showing you. I'm giving you.
It can be done.
It can be done. So that's amazing, and that's kind of why I wanted you to share that with those
Absolutely.
who aspire and say, you know what,
you can do it.
I can.
You can do
my
it.
Circumstances.
Yes. And sometimes it's as simple as that. It doesn't take a 30-minute motivational speech to get you off your behind and get you going. What it takes a made-up mind. It takes you saying, yes, I'm going to do it, and then putting together a well-laid-out plan.
That's right.
You have to have a plan. It's biblical. Write it down, make it plain.
Make it plain.
Right? You got to have a plan. And we try to covet the success of others.
Of somebody else.
Right? You can't do that.
That's
you
right.
have to do what works for you.
That's right.
Success is different for everybody. I'm going to keep saying that. Because if it was the same, we wouldn't have certain key principles. Right?
That's right.
That lead us. It's not. It's different. And you got to make a decision.
That's right. I love me some Felicia, y'all. Y'all see why? She just preached us a whole sermon in 10 minutes. I love me some Felicia. So if you are an entrepreneur or a solopreneur with an urgency to play it bigger, think bigger, and be bigger, if you need to expand your business and grow your community, Felicia will work with you to assist you in achieving your goals at an accelerated rate. Business coaching with Felicia is transformational and will allow you to fast track your way to profitability.
Profit.
I'm here.
There's nothing wrong with
living
that.
with, and nothing wrong with a little profit here and there. She teaches you how to be profitable and not have a hobby. Okay, not have a hobby, but be profitable. And I want to iterate that because a lot of entrepreneurs and solopreneurs, they get in and they don't make 5 figures in the first 30 days. And it's like, okay, this isn't for me. But then there are some who get settled in it being a hobby. Okay, well, I'm working my business. I know I'm not making much money.
Yes.
So it becomes a hobby. And that's important. I know you've come across some
all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Here's the thing, and so I work with women mostly. I have male clients, but mostly I work with women. What I find is often, not always, but often, women will go into business based on a passion that they have. But here's the thing, that passion has to make money.
This is true.
Right? Passion, purpose, all that's great. But at the end of the day, when the bill shows up, the power bill has to be paid.
That's right.
They don't care about your passion. They don't care about your purpose.
Yeah.
They want their money. Right?
Yeah.
And so what you have to understand, what you have to have a spirit of discernment about is, how does my purpose, how does my passion become profitable? The only way that's going to happen, a few things. One, you're going to have to make a decision that you're going to be committed to it. It's interesting. We'll sign contracts for everything. Phone, house, car. Do you have a contract with yourself? A contract of commitment. A contract that says, I'm going to, let me say this. People will go work for somebody else and put in 40, 60, 70 hours a week.
True.
But they will own a business and can't even get an 8-hour workday out of them.
That's good. That's good. You got my mind. I ain't never thought about the contract with yourself.
Hold yourself accountable. Accountability is the biggest part of what we do, being accountable. Yes, life happens, things happen, but you've got to have a commitment to yourself and to your business. You chose to do this. There's an investment of time, an investment of money that comes with owning a business, right? There's a lot of responsibility. That's why everybody can't do it.
That's right. That's right.
Right? So what are you committed to? Are you committed to putting a full 8 hours into your business? Are you committed to putting a full 30, 40? If you just put 30 hours a week into your business, I promise you'll see it go to the next level.
That's right. I agree.
Right? And it's not a 9 to 5. Most of the deals that have been made for me didn't happen 9 to 5.
That's true.
So it's got to be some flexibility in there. So you just got to have some clarity about what you can do. What are you committed to? What decisions are you going to make so that you can achieve what you want?
That's right. That's right. Y'all, she dropping nuggets. Y'all better be writing them down. She dropping them nuggets up in here. That's amazing. And you know what? Speaking of entrepreneurship, I resonate with you because you went through a time of sickness as well. And I know right now you're on this health is wealth.
That's right.
And that's
yes,
what you're teaching. And I did want to kind of talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
Because I know for me, fighting cervical cancer wasn't easy for me. Now, in the beginning when it started out, I was just all positive. It's going to be okay. And the longer that it carried on, it started wearing on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was positive. I was upbeat. I'm like, it's going to be okay. I'm going to get healed from this. And then every time I go back and there's something else wrong, there's another surgery I got to do. Oh, you got to do more chemo. You got to do more. And the times, I'm just like, wait a minute. I was being positive. This supposed to went away.
You know what? Here's a memory. There's a couple memories during the process. As an African-American woman, we hear about fibroids all the time. My mother had them. I know other women that have had them. And in my mind, it was just something I was going to live with, right? But what happened is, what I was doing unconsciously was I was planning around it, right? Okay. Because of the effects that it was having on me, right? And it got worse, and I was having symptoms that I did not associate with having fibroids. Right. So fatigue, weakness, I could go on and on. That culminated into me basically dying in the shower. And my son having to find me. And he saved my life. Now, as most of you know, I've told the story of my son being diagnosed with Asperger's and just the journey of miracles that we've had in his life. And for him to find me, to help me get myself together, And trust me, no mother wants her son to find her in that manner. Help me get to the hospital. But to get to the hospital and someone to say to you, you are dying. If you don't make a decision right now, then we're going to have to bring your family in so they can have their last words. Right? Because they don't know your religious backgrounds and things of that nature. After having to receive a blood transfusion, I had to have 4 pints of blood. I had to have a transfusion of platelets. I spent a week in ICU. And I remember just looking down at myself. Who can I help now?
Right.
Who can I help now? I can't help anybody. I can't even help myself. My arms were black and blue just from, all the IVs
and everything.
All the needles. I remember they had put a sign over my head like, you cannot stick her anymore, because I had just turned into a pin cushion, right? And I told my family, I said, I don't need you all to sit here with me. Go live. Go live. Because when I looked up and I looked in their eyes, I saw death.
Really?
I saw sympathy. I didn't need that. I needed to heal myself. I needed a word from God. Right. I needed to know what's happening right now.
That's right.
And I just began to get quiet and to just listen and to understand that this was a defining moment again in my life. If God has a purpose for you, that purpose is normally birthed out of pain, out of something that you have gone through that will change the entire trajectory of not just your life, but the lives of others.
That's true. That's true.
When I got out of that hospital, I made a promise to myself, I'm going to love me. Because I'm a giver by nature. I want to see people prosper and do well. And so in being that person, what I realized is that I was sacrificed. I had put myself as a sacrifice because I was not taking care of myself. I wasn't sleeping right. I wasn't eating right. I'm just go, work, right? And I wasn't living.
That's what it is.
I'm living now.
Yeah.
I'm loving my life. And God is rewarding me for that. Because this is his temple.
That's right. That's right.
He lives in this temple.
That's right.
And that's what we have to realize. There is no success without us.
That's right.
So if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't put yourself first, if you don't, one, invest in your health, know what your body is doing. Know your blood type, know how to eat for it, exercise, take care of yourself. Just like you got a coach for business, guess what? You can have a coach for your health, right?
That's right.
You've got to do those things because what I notice, especially about black women, we work really hard.
We do.
We give really hard. We love really hard. And that takes a wear and tear, not just on the body, but on the mind.
That's right.
And so what I've become really excited about is that I'm going to be doing more retreats for African-American women, not just in business, but just period.
That's good.
Because we need to be able to go and be around people who understand where we're coming from, what we're going through, what we're facing on a daily basis. But not just enjoy ourselves, but to get the tools and the resources that we need to be successful, whether we own a business or we're in the workplace.
That's right. That's right.
It's important.
That's right.
And so on the last retreat, it was just life-changing.
Yeah.
It was
heard all
life-changing.
about it. I know. I'm jealous. I don't want to hear no more. I ain't missing no more.
But guess what? We're going to be doing that more and more. More and more, because it's important that we take that time for ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that I appreciate you sharing that with us, and it, like I said, that's how I resonated with you lately, because you had a scare, and then you shared that with everyone, and then I'm like, but she's still shining. She's still doing what she has to do. And I myself, I really had shrunk back. I just was like, I'm done.
And I went through
almost
that.
to the point of giving up.
So let me tell you, I was afraid. What am I going to tell my clients?
Yeah.
What's going to happen to my business?
Yep.
who am I as far as who have I become because I've let myself down, right? So I went through that, and I distinctly heard God say, you're gonna be okay. I didn't tell you any of that. I didn't tell you this was the end. Yeah. I didn't tell you were gonna die. I didn't tell you any of that. That's you telling yourself those things. I need you to listen to me. Right? And so we're going to all doubt ourselves at some point, right? Because that's the trick of the enemy, right? Is doubt, to put that doubt and that fear into you. But it's important, I always talk about how do you start your day? Because, some of us, we start our day. First thing we do is
pick up that phone.
This phone up. We're trying to see who texts us, what's going on social media, what emails did we get. I'm going to ask everybody, if you're listening to me, give yourself at least 30 minutes. If you can give yourself an hour before you interact
with anything
or anyone, give it to yourself. If that means getting up a little bit early, whatever that is, you need time to commune with yourself and whoever you believe in. For me, it's God. I believe in God. So I need that time, that spiritual time, to just understand, where am I going?
Right.
What am I doing? What's my next move? And then allow that to manifest the vision that He's given me.
That's right. That's right. Now, I have to say this. Listen to what she's saying. I'm telling you. Whenever she says, and it don't be a whole lot. It just be something real small. Take it and use it. I'll give a quick testimony. Maybe 4 months ago, we were together, and I was telling her I was struggling with productivity. And she said, get off social media. Okay, I'm running my business on social media. But I had to find a way to make that happen and get off social media. Well, I met my income goal triple the next 30 days just from that
testimony.
Just from that little thing. I tripled my income goal.
Testimony. Listen, when
just from that little thing. I did. I got off social media. My productivity went up. I moved into my own office building.
Don't get me started.
Come on now.
When I take my clients, and you have to listen, right? In order to help someone, you have to be able to listen to them. When I was listening to you, it's like I knew what the problem was, right?
Yeah.
This is why you need a coach.
Yeah.
A coach needs a coach, right? I have people I go to, right? But what I heard was you were spending too much time looking at what everybody else was doing.
And now people be like, you didn't see my post. I'm like, nah, honey. Right? My bad. I ain't
It's you know what? We live in technology. Use it. A world of technology. Use it. You can be on social media and not be on social media.
That's right.
Right? You can promote. You can program. There are things you can do. You've got to be promoting and working your business. So if you're spending all your time on Facebook, on Instagram, live this, live that, when are you working on the business?
This is so true.
Right? I always tell people, if you see somebody all the time doing that, when are they serving their clients?
That's right. They're just sitting up on social media.
Right? You just said, I tripled my income.
I did. Not double. I tripled it. Okay. And the goal I set for myself for the next 90 days, I got the goal in 60 days.
High five. Give me some. That's what I'm talking about. That's a real testimony.
It is.
But that's what is required. You have to be, what did I say in the beginning? You have to be committed to the business.
That's right.
All right.
That's
simple.
Right.
So this is not hard. This is not rocket science.
I hope y'all listen. I want you to kind of inspire. She said before, you heard her, she has a son who has Asperger's. And I know I have a lot of friends that have kids with autism and different things. And they're also on that entrepreneurial track. Trying to run a business and trying to run a family. And it's one thing, none of my kids have any disabilities, so I can't say that I understand. But like I said, I have friends, and I know that it's a struggle for them dealing with all of these things and then a child with a disability.
So let me say this. Here's something I had to realize, is Asperger's was a blessing and not a disability.
Amen.
Because what I realized is that it gave Grant the vision to see things differently, to do things differently, to manifest his life in a way that was different from mine or anyone that I knew. And what I realized, it wasn't him that had to change. It was me that had to change.
That's good.
I had to line up with what was happening with him because I am his mother. And God put me in charge.
That's good.
Okay? So what that meant was, you got to step up to the plate, meaning you got to educate yourself and you got to get involved. And I never told Grant until here recently because I never wanted him to say what he could not do.
Yeah.
Because when I looked at him, I saw all that he was capable
That's
of.
right. That's
Okay?
right. That's right.
No matter what people said, I listened to what God said.
That's
and
right.
and to be honest, having him changed my life because I began to have a true relationship with God because I needed something more than what man could give me.
That's good. That's
Because
good.
this was something that I had never faced before, didn't have training for. I didn't know what to do, right? But when I looked into this child's face, I saw promise,
Oh, I got you.
right? And so instead of saying he can't do something because of what these people are telling me, I chose to say, you can do this. You are great. I believe in you. No matter what it looks like today, I know that someday your story is going to be great. Now, let me talk to you in the natural. I cried. He cried. We worked together. I had to get my family involved. My mother, I love her because she was just as committed, if not more than I was. We poured
Support means
into
a lot,
him.
yeah.
We built him up. And now today, a testimony that I did not know I would be able to give today.
Yeah.
Because see, when you're going through the journey,
Yeah, you don't see
when
those.
you being refined and you feel like, you know, what's going to happen, you don't know what your testimony is going to be.
That's right. That's right.
How did I know that this child would not just graduate college, but that his college would be paid for?
Right. Right.
That he would do extremely well. I didn't know that. That he would be a musician. I didn't know that. God knew that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What I'm saying to you is this: you can't give up. You cannot worry about what other people are saying. You got to know your child. You got to believe. Did I pray over him? Yes. I would go in his room at night. I would pray over him. I would put my hands on him. I would speak to him. Every day I would say, I know you're going to do something great.
Imparting. You was imparting into him.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, it is a struggle. Did we have tough moments? Yes, we did. Did we have moments where I felt like I don't know what I'm going to do? Yes. But I had a support group within my family because you're in a different time now as far as autism and things of that nature.
Yes.
There are so many support groups. You know, we got 5Ks, we got all kind of
we
stuff,
got
right?
all-
We
yeah.
have resources. We didn't have all that at that time. Grant's 19 now. So I'm happy to say that there are a lot of resources. But at the end of the day, the resource is you.
That's right.
The parent.
That's right.
You are the resource. So you've got to equip yourself to be able to handle whatever, whether your child has autism, a behavior problem, wherever the issue is, a learning disability, you've got to equip yourself first. So because here's the thing. When a child looks at you, they have to know and see the confidence in you.
Yes. Yes.
If you're worried, they're
They're
going to
worried.
be worried.
They
I
see it, too.
remember when Grant would have that look, I would just want to comfort him and let him know that it's going to be okay. But as time moved on, I have to also realize that I'm raising a man.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I can't give him sympathy every day. I've got to hold him accountable because however I hold him, whatever I hold him to, guess what? The world's going to hold him to something a lot higher.
That's right. That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
But they can't be higher than what I'm holding him to. So I had to say, this is not acceptable. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to study harder. You're going to have to pay attention. You're going to have to get some extra help. Whatever that is, you're going to have to do that. But guess what? I'm here to help you.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's whatever you're, whatever.
Whatever you do.
For both of my children. I tell them, regardless of what is happening in your life, I am here for you.
That's right. I try to remember to do that too.
You have to.
I do.
We all need that.
Yeah. Even though my daughter's, she's grown, 24 now. She's gone. I tell her though. I'm like,
they need to know that.
All them people you hang around, I'm gonna be right here.
You know what? It's just like
Mama always gonna be here.
It's just like I told you. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you're 24, if you're 44, if you're 64. It don't matter.
Right. It don't matter.
Everybody wants to know that somebody is in their corner.
That's right.
That somebody sees the work that they're doing, the impact that they're making.
That's right.
We all want to be validated in some way, form, or fashion.
We do.
And it's okay. Matter of fact, we should do that more.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
Celebrate.
Support.
I love it. Oh, gosh, I feel like I'm in a coaching session. You know, coach me right up. Woo! Y'all see why I love them. Yes. So I hope that has been encouraging to someone out there who's struggling with that.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's really hard. It's really hard. I've had people call and they just cry.
If there's a word other than hard, or it's an unbelievable journey, because you don't know your strength while you're going through it. But when you get the opportunity to look back, and I always say, judge a tree by the fruit that it bears.
That's right.
When I look at my life today, and I look at the women that I've impacted, I look at my children, I like the fruit that I bear.
I do too. I do too, which brings me to the next topic I want to throw out here real quick. Listen, I don't know if you've heard of it. If you haven't, you're going to hear about it now. And I really want to see all the women entrepreneurs in Atlanta. Well, actually, because they coming from all over.
Yeah.
But she is the host of the conference, MogulCon.
MogulCon.
MogulCon. Yes. MogulCon changed my life, guys. It changed my life, and I'm pretty sure it will change yours as well. I mean, it took me a few years to get it in my head, but it changed my life. It really did.
I'm so glad to hear that.
You glad to hear that?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're glad to hear that. Tell us about MogulCon.
Wow. So this is our third year, Stacy.
Yes, it
This is our third year. And every year it gets better, right? And for me, I love making this investment, really. I love making the investment of bringing MogulCon to the women who need it. You know, everybody's called to something.
That's right. That's
right. For me, each year I learn something different from the participants. I get something different from the participants. So in year 3, we're doing it different. So there are 2 tracks in year 3. There's a track for startups, and then there's going to be a track for your seasoned entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Why? Because it can be unfair to put both in the same audience.
That's
because
right.
you're moving at different levels. And so on the first day, we're going to bring in people who specialize in startups.
Okay.
And then we're going to be working in a separate room with our seasoned entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Because they're going to need something different. Because what happens is, coming out of startup, you tend to learn a lot. Sometimes you change what you offer, how you market. You may decide that that target audience isn't really the audience or the client that I want.
That's right.
And so now you're at a different place. You made some money, but you're still not sure about a few things, but you're not at the startup stage, right?
Right.
So that's a little bit different, right? Maybe now you're ready in year 3, year 4 to start doing business with corporations, right? How do I do that? How do I get my foot in the door? What does it take? So what we're going to be doing is laying the foundation for the startups. And then we're going to be scaling and growing the seasoned entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And so we're going to bring in those experts to help them do that. And then on day 2, we're going to bring everybody together, and we're going to talk about what matters as a woman in business. Because here's the thing, whether you have children or not, we're all balancing something.
That's right. That's right.
And we're all trying to figure out, how do I maintain my personal life, take care of my business, and be happy?
That's right. That's right.
Be successful. Be pleased with what I'm doing. That can be, but then also understanding that I have an image.
Okay.
We all have an image.
That's
Whether that's in the workplace, we have a brand, and so we want to represent that well. We want to represent that well mentally, how we speak, how we look.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And making sure that that message is cohesive, whether I'm talking to you face to face, whether I'm on your website, or whether I'm on your social media. There's a process to everything. And so we're going to talk about that, help you through that. We're going to have coaches on site this year to help you with that, so you'll be able to get that. And then on the last day, we're going to do something that we haven't done. Normally, we will have our sponsors to have tables.
Right.
This year, we're going to do a full-fledged expo on the last day.
Okay.
And then we're going to wrap it up with the Mogul Awards. You
Say
know,
my
last
coins now.
year, oh my
the
goodness.
gala.
Yes, we had Janice Bryant Howard.
Yes.
And she, oh my
she's
gosh, it
amazing.
was standing room only in there.
Yeah, she's
And she really delivered such a powerful message that I don't think anybody in the room will ever forget. That's what MogulCon is about. It is life-changing.
It is.
And
It is.
if you've never been, I want to invite you out. You can go on and sign up under the early bird registration. We're going to be releasing that, sending that out July 1st.
Okay.
We've got some really special guests that we're going to be announcing that will be at MogulCon this year.
I know you don't know.
We've got some great media partners that have
Yes,
come on board.
yes.
And so get ready, because July 1st, I will be coming to you live to tell you all about it.
Y'all hear it right here. July 1st, early bird special. You are not going to want to miss that, okay?
Yes.
You're not going to want to miss that.
And so to sign up for the early bird, go on to Mogul, MOGUL, con.com. You'll see it says MogulCon early bird registration. Put your email in there so we can get you on the mailing list, and you can get your seat for our Black Belt Academy that we're going to be doing at MogulCon this year.
Awesome. Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Black Belt Academy.
Yeah, see, we got lots of surprises
Oh,
for
my
you.
goodness. Okay, right. Okay, right.
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm going to be in the house. I
Yes,
don't know
you
about
are.
you. Well, you got it. MogulCon.com. Get there now and get the early bird ticket.
Yes.
And then,
We
like
wanna see
she
you.
said, and I can attest, it is life-changing. It changed my life in my business dramatically. Still changing it.
Testimony. I
Yeah,
love it.
still changing it. It's amazing. It's amazing. So now y'all see why I had to have her on here. She's just a woman of many hats. And it's showing others how to really juggle all of that with balance and being happy
Yeah.
while doing that.
And let me say this too, because you've heard me talk about this. So I always feel like balance. Okay, let's be real about that. Sometimes you may not find the balance, right? Because is there really a such thing of finding balance when no 2 days are alike? But let me tell you what you can do. You can prioritize.
That's right.
You can set boundaries.
That's good.
Boundaries,
That's good.
yes.
That's good.
You know, you got to be honest with yourself, because my situation is different than yours and everybody else that's watching us. So I don't want women stressing themselves out, and men too. What is balance? How do I find balance? What I want you to do is set boundaries. But I want you to communicate those boundaries to your family and to your friends, because they don't know what you're planning.
Right.
They don't know what your next moves are. So you've got to communicate with them so that they can reciprocate the respect and the time that you need in order to be impactful in your business.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's good. That's good. So once again, mogulcon.com. That's where you go to register. I was already going to give her her website as well, FeliciaPhillips.com. If you're interested in, like I said, that's the business strategist for you. Also, let me not forget the Pinkpreneur Network.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, this is
Ladies,
my family.
Yes.
I get a little emotional about the Pinkpreneur Network because when we started in 2015, for me, it just wasn't about the numbers. It was about the quality of women that came to be a part of what we were doing.
That's right.
Which was changing lives. And
I met
really
some
helping
amazing
the women
then.
to find the joy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So then it evolved, right? And now I see them doing business together, promoting one another,
Celebrating
working on projects
yes,
together.
all of that. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Real sisterhood.
This is real sisterhood, right? And no, you know, it's not about, oh gosh, I've never seen a clique within our organization. Okay. What I've seen is sisters walking up to new sisters who come into the organization, new women that come into the organization with open arms and saying, welcome, I'm so happy to see you. You know, what do you do? Let me share about my experience. Let me share what's happened.
How can I help you?
How can I help you?
How can I support you? What do you need from me?
And I will tell you, I truly believe that the speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack.
That's right.
And a leader builds people.
That's right.
People will then build the organization.
That's right. That's right.
That is what I believe in. I believe that if I help to build the women who decide to become a part of this sisterhood, this organization, then they will in turn build the organization. They will build each other, and they will grow and be prosperous.
That's right.
That's what's happening.
Right. That's right.
That is what is happening every day. We are growing. We're in multiple cities. We have new chapters. Matter of fact, on June 23rd, we are having the lunch party for the Middle Georgia chapter.
Oh, okay.
Right? So you came to the event that Kim McNair had, that we attended in support of in Macon, Georgia. Well, we have a full chapter that is joining there, and they are on fire. And so we'll be there at the Carruthers on June 23rd, and you can go on the site and register for that. It is so much going on. Cleveland, Raleigh, Charlotte, Atlanta.
North Carolina's in the house.
Yes. Oh, and even at MogulCon, here's what I love, because, you know, Atlanta is a big city. We get people from all over here. We have events like 20 a day here, right? But what I love about MogulCon is that we attract people from all over. We even had people come international last year, right? And so, which makes us a global conference now, right? I love that. I love that amazing. Because with our organization, the sky is truly the limit.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, women, if you're looking for a sisterhood, an amazing sisterhood where they open their arms and envelop you wide and help guide you along in some of those transformational moments in your life,
Pinkpreneur.network.com.
That's right.
Yes.
That's the place to be. That's the place to be. I'm going to tell you something afterwards. As we end today, though, this has been really a pleasure and a joy.
Awesome.
I know, because I feel coached. I feel like, you know how when you go to church and you're on that high for church.
Then I did my job.
Yeah, you did. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, okay. Get your life,
Stacy.
Get your life. But but as we end today, I want you to share, and I ask everyone to do this because I'm big on motivational quotes. What is your favorite motivational quote? That one that puts you on fire.
The one that I just said earlier. Whatever you are seeking is seeking you. Whatever you're working towards, guess what? It's trying to figure out how to find you. But if you don't get up every day and put that energy towards it, guess what? It'll never find you.
It'll never find you.
It will never find you. Whatever you are seeking is seeking you.
I love that. I love it. Y'all hear that? Whatever you are seeking is seeking you. Get up. Get committed.
Get going.
Get going.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So as we close, I want to ask you guys, have you been misunderstood or mistreated maybe? Something you said was taken wrong, and soon there were all these people who were upset with you. You are not alone because it happens all the time to everybody. The Apostle Paul had a special gift of being misunderstood and mistreated by those he even ministered to. It never stopped him, even though he did get discouraged from time to time. And that's natural, but we can't let it keep us down. I'm going to come to you from Acts 14, verses 9 through 11. It said, he listened to Paul as he was speaking. Paul looked directly at him and saw that he had faith to be healed and called out, stand up on your feet. At that, the man jumped up and began to walk. When the crowd saw what Paul had done, they shouted in another language, the gods have come down to us in human form. Now, you got to continue on to read the story. What happened was, of course, they praised Paul, and then all of a sudden, they talked bad about him and stoned him. Fickle. Just being fickle. Can you imagine 1 minute you're just the best person in the world, and then the next minute all of it stops? People can be so fickle.
But when something new or exciting happens, they flock to it. And a lame person was healed at this time. And the people wanted to sacrifice animals to Paul and Barnabas and treat them as gods. They had to plead with the people and tear their clothes off, keep them from doing that. But he was the new exciting thing in town, and they couldn't get enough of him. And then all of a sudden, the Jews started spreading rumors about him, and it stirred up the crowd. And the next thing you know, he's being stoned and thrown out of the city. Where's the justice in that? And we all look at that. Where's the justice in that? When you do work for the Lord, you will be misunderstood and mistreated. When you do follow your passion and your dreams, you will be misunderstood and mistreated. When you're doing the right thing, you will be misunderstood and mistreated. As long as people can benefit from what you do, they'll love you. But once they're convicted, they'll turn on you. But this should not deter you from serving. It should not stop you from serving others. It should not stop you from serving God. It should not stop you from being the beautiful person that you are. After Paul was stoned, he got up and went to the next city, and he preached the gospel. He wasn't swayed by the opinion of others. He wasn't swayed by the opinion of those he ministered to. He served to please the Lord. And whether he got the applause of the crowd or not, it didn't matter to him. I want to say, keep going. Does it seem like no matter what you do, people are never happy with you? Those are the signs that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, that you're doing something right. Some will disagree with you, but I can tell you that what God commands us to do and what makes people happy are different.
Yes.
They are very different. Don't beat yourself up. Keep going. Refocus your eyes upon the Lord and ask him to fill your heart with love for others and the power of the Holy Spirit. You will be misunderstood and you will be mistreated, but keep going. You have been listening and watching Candid Conversation with Coach Stacy, where we have real people, real topics, and real stories right here on 108 Praise Radio, where we voice the gospel. I thank you guys for joining. Another shout out to my family in North Carolina, the Bryants. Hello, hello, hello. We will see you next time. Thanks for joining.